Job. Chapter 16. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things, troubling comforters are you all. Do words of wind have an end? Or what has provoked you that you so respond? I also could speak like you, if your soul were in my soul's stead, I could join my words together against you and shake my head at you. I could strengthen you with my mouth, and the movement of my lips would mitigate your pain. If I speak, my pain is not mitigated, and if I forbear, how much departs from me? But now he has worn me out, you have desolated all my company. And you have seized me, it is a testimony against me, and my leanness rises up against me, it testifies to my face. In his wrath he has torn me to pieces and been adverse toward me, he has gnashed his teeth at me. My adversary sharpens his eyes at me. With their mouth they gape at me, they strike my cheek reproachfully, they mass themselves together against me. God has delivered me over to the unjust and cast me down into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, and he broke me apart, indeed he took me by my neck and dashed me to pieces. And he set me up as his target. His archers surrounded me, he split open my kidneys and did not desist, he poured out my gall upon the earth. He broke me open with breach upon breach, he ran at me like a mighty man of war. I have sewn sackcloth upon my skin and have cast my horn into the dust. My face is reddened with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Though there is no violence in my hands, and my prayer is pure. O earth, do not cover my blood, and let there be no resting place for my crying out. Even now, there in heaven is my witness, and he who vouches for me is in the heights. My friends deride me, my eye pours out tears to God. That he would plead for a man in his case with God and for a son of man in his case with his neighbor. For when years few in number have come, I will go the way from which I cannot return. Job. Chapter 17. My spirit is broken, my days are extinct, the graveyard is ready for me. Surely there are mockers with me, and my eye lingers on their provocation. Lay down now a pledge for me with yourself, who is he who will strike hands with me? For you have hidden their heart from insight, therefore you will not exalt them. He who denounces his friends for a share of the profit taken, even the eyes of his children will fail. But he has made me a byword of the people, and I have become one on whom they may spit. And my eye has grown dim because of the sorrow, and my members are all like a shadow. The upright are appalled at this, and the innocent stir themselves up against the profane man. Yet the righteous man will hold fast to his way, and he whose hands are clean will wax yet stronger. But all of you, come back now, and I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, broken are my plans, the cherished thoughts of my heart. They change night into day, the light is near, they say in the face of darkness. If I wait for Sheol as my house, if I spread my couch in the darkness. If I call out to the pit, you are my father, you are my mother and my sister, to the worm. Where then is my hope? Indeed, my hope, who will see it? It will go down to the bars of Sheol, when, at the same time, we have rest in the dust. Job. Chapter 18. Then Bildad the Shuhite answered and said, How long will you hunt for words? Consider, and afterward we will speak. Why are we considered to be like beasts and have become unclean in your eyes? You who tear yourself in your anger, will the earth be forsaken for your sake, or will the rock be removed from its place? Indeed the light of the wicked goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is darkness in his tent, and his lamp above him goes out. The steps of his strength are confined, and his counsel has cast him down. For he has been cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks about on the webbing of a pitfall. A snare grabs him by the heel, a trap lays hold on him. A rope is hidden for him on the ground, and a trap for him, on the path. Terrors frighten him all around and chase him at his heels. His strength is famished, and calamity is prepared at his side. It devours the members of his body, the firstborn of death devours his members. He is rooted out of his tent, in which he trusts, and he is made to march to the king of terrors. That which is not his dwells in his tent, brimstone is scattered upon his habitation. Beneath, his roots are dried up, and above, his branch is withered. The memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name on the open plain. He is thrust out from the light to the darkness and driven from the world. He has no posterity and no progeny among his people, and there are none remaining where he sojourned. Those who come after will be astonished at his day, as those who went before were horrified. Surely these are the dwellings of the unjust, and this is the place of him who does not know God. Job. Chapter 19. Then Job answered and said, How long will you grieve my soul and crush me with your words? These 10 times you have reproached me, you are not ashamed to deal wrongly with me. And be it that I have erred, my error remains with me. If you indeed magnify yourselves against me and use my reproach in argument against me, know then that God has subverted my cause and compassed me about with his net. Indeed, I cry out, violence. And I am not answered, I call for help, and there is no justice. He has walled up my way so that I cannot pass, and he has put darkness upon my paths. He has stripped my glory from me and taken away the crown on my head. He has broken me all around, and I am gone, and my hope is plucked up like a tree. He has also kindled his anger against me, and in himself he considers me as his adversary. His troops come together and cast up their highway against me and encamp all around my tent. He has removed my brothers far from me, and those who know me are wholly estranged from me. My relatives have failed me, and my acquaintances have forgotten me. Those who sojourn in my house and my maids consider me as a stranger, I am a foreigner in their eyes. To my servant I call out, but he does not answer, I entreat him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife, and my supplications, to the children of my mother's womb. Even little children despise me, I arise and they speak against me. All the men whom I take counsel with abhor me, and those whom I love have turned against me. My bones cleave to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Pity me, O my friends, for the hand of God has touched me. Why do you persecute me as God does and are not satisfied with eating my flesh? Oh that my words were now written. Oh that they were inscribed in a book. That with an iron pen and with lead they were engraved in rock forever. But I know that my Redeemer lives, and at the last he will stand upon the earth. And after this body of mine is destroyed, outside my flesh I will look on God. Whom I, even I, will look on for myself, and my eyes will see, I, and no other. My inward parts that long for God are consumed within me. If you say, How will we persecute him? For the root of the matter is found in him. Be fearful of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, that you may know that there is a judgment. Job. Chapter 20. Then Zophar the Naamathite answered and said, Because of this, my disquieting thoughts answer me, and hence my haste is in me. I hear the reproof that humiliates me, and the spirit of my understanding answers me. Do you not know this from of old, since man was set upon the earth? That the joyous shouting of the wicked is short, and the rejoicing of the profane is but for a moment? Though his arrogance goes up to heaven, and his head touches the clouds. Like his own dung he perishes forever, those who have seen him say, Where is he? Like a dream he flies away and is not found, indeed he is chased away like a vision of the night. The eye looks on him then sees him no more, nor does his place observe him any more. His children seek the favor of the poor, and his hands return his wealth. His bones are full of youthful vigor, yet it lies down with him in the dust. Though wickedness is sweet in his mouth, though he hides it under his tongue. Though he favors it and will not forsake it, but holds it in his mouth. His food in his bowels is changed, it is the venom of asps within him. He swallows down riches and vomits them up, God casts them forth from his stomach. He sucks the poison of asps, the tongue of the viper slays him. He will not look on the rivers, the streams flowing with honey and butter. He will return what he toiled for and will not swallow it down, and he will not rejoice according to the wealth of his trading. For he has oppressed and abandoned the poor, he has violently seized a house that he did not build. Because he knew no respite in his craving, of that which he desired he will save nothing. There will be nothing left of what he has devoured, thus his prosperity will not endure. In the fullness of his sufficiency he will be distressed, the hand of everyone in trouble will come against him. In order to fill his belly, God will send the burning fierceness of his wrath on him and will rain it upon him as his food. He will flee from the iron weapon, but the bronze bow will strike him through. He draws the arrow out, and it comes out of his body, indeed the glittering point goes forth from his gall. Terrors come upon him. Total darkness is laid up as his treasures, a fire not fanned by man will devour him, it will feed on what is left in his tent. The heavens will reveal his iniquity, and the earth will rise up against him. The increase of his house will depart as things swept away in the day of his wrath. This is the wicked man's portion from God and the inheritance decreed to him by God. Job. Chapter 21. Then Job answered and said, Listen carefully to my word, and let this be your consolations. Bear with me, and I will speak, and after I have spoken, mock on. As for me, is my complaint to man? And why should my spirit not be impatient? Look at me and be appalled, and put your hand over your mouth. Even when I remember, I am troubled, and horror takes hold of my flesh. Why do the wicked live, grow old, even become mighty in riches? Their seed is established with them in their sight, and their offspring, before their eyes. Their houses are free from dread, and the rod of God is not upon them. Their bull breeds and does not fail, their cow calves and does not miscarry. They send forth their little ones like a herd, and their children dance. They lift up their voices to the tambourine and lyre, and they rejoice at the sound of the flute. They spend their days in prosperity, and in a moment they go down into Sheol. And they say unto God, Depart from us, for we do not desire the knowledge of your ways. What is the Almighty, that we should serve him? And what profit is there, that we should pray to him? Indeed, their prosperity is not in their own hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from him. How often is the lamp of the wicked put out, so that their calamity comes upon them, so that God distributes sorrows in his anger? Do they become like straw before the wind and like chaff that the storm carries off? You say, God stores up the punishment of his iniquity for his children. I say, let him recompense him, so that he knows it. Let his eyes see his destruction, and let him drink the wrath of the Almighty. For what is there for him to delight in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off? Will someone teach knowledge to God, seeing that he judges those who are on high? One dies in his full strength, being completely at ease and quiet. His pails are full of milk, and the marrow of his bones is moist. But another dies in bitterness of soul and does not taste of good. They lie down alike in the dust, and the worm covers them. Indeed, I know your thoughts, and the devices by which you would wrong me. For you say, Where is the house of the prince? Where is the tent of the dwellings of the wicked? Have you not asked those who travel the roads? And do you not regard their evidence? That the wicked man is spared in the day of calamity, that they are led forth at the day of overflowing wrath? Who will declare his way to his face? And who will repay him what he has done? When he is borne to the grave, a watch is kept over the tomb. The clods of the valley are sweet to him, and all men go in procession after him, and those who went before him are without number. Why then do you comfort me with vanity? For your responses leave only falsehood behind.